Darius God for a month. These leaders did what they could to get the king to sign the edict, which according to law could not be revoked once it was put in place. Have you ever heard about the law of Medes and Persians? That means if you say it, you can't unsay it. If you promise it, you can't unpromise it. In the Medo-Persian Empire, if the king wrote an edict, it could never be changed, because if you changed it, it would look as if the king made a mistake. And the king didn't make any mistake. He was infallible according to the Medo-Persian culture. So once the king signed an edict, even if he didn't like what he had signed, he couldn't undo it. And along with that, the edict had to be carried out on the day that the offense was committed. Stand-up people are promoted, and they're persistent. Number 3. Notice verses 10 and 11 in our text. When Daniel knew that the writing was signed, the writing that if you prayed to any other god but Darius, you'd be put into the lion's den. When he heard this, the Bible says he went home, and in his upper room with his windows open toward Jerusalem, he knelt down on his knees 3 times that day and prayed and gave thanks before God. Now, I've heard some preachers say, when this happened, what Daniel did was he said, I'll show you. So he went home, he threw his windows open, half hung out the window, shouting his prayer before God so the whole kingdom could hear him. Not. What he did, the Bible says, was he went home, he knelt down on his knees, he did it 3 times that day and prayed and gave thanks before his God. Listen to the last phrase, as was his custom to do. When the king said he couldn't pray to his God, Daniel said, I'm sorry, and he went home and prayed to his God. Stand-up people are often promoted. They're always persecuted, and they're usually very persistent in what they do. I want you to notice that what Daniel did when he found out what the deal was this. He didn't stand down. That would have been cowardice. He didn't stand aside. That would have been compromise. He really didn't even stand against. He didn't rail against the king. What did he do? He stood up. He stood up for his courage and his conviction, and that's what I believe God is calling us to do. We can stand up for what we believe. We can stand up and be